Good afternoon, everyone. Happy winter solstice. What a lovely day it ended up being after quite a crazy week. I know there are many of us that were experiencing lack of power and whatnot. We were unsure if this would actually happen, but thankfully the universe allowed this to occur, and I think that's a great thing. We've got a wonderful first off, I'm Aaron Hirsch. I'm the director of the St. John's Music Society and the organist here. And we've got a great program ahead of us. Just a couple of housekeeping before we jump in. There will be a donation opportunity, a free will plate being passed after the Bach. And during that time, I'll talk more about Music Society. But just to keep in mind, we accept cash, checks written out to St. John's with Music Society in the memo line, or simply scan the QR code found in your program. And for our online viewers, there is a link in the video description that will also take you to a donation page. So give what you can. Your contributions really help us continue to put on wonderful programs. Final thing, check your devices, make sure they're silenced. This concert is sort of a meditation on this day with great, incredible music. And so we can ignore the world around us and be in this space together. Music is really one of those special things. They say that, art, paintings and whatnot is how you decorate space, but music is how you decorate time. So enjoy this time, meditate, and really enjoy what we have to offer. I am pleased to welcome out the principal flute of the Colorado Symphony Orchestra, Brook Ferguson. Let's give her a hand.
I forgot to send my dad the link of the live stream. So I was sending that while I was walking under. Okay. Absolutely. Thank you all so much for being here. I see so many nice, wonderful faces. Thanks so much for coming out. We have this program for Winter Solstice. We've had a very interesting solstice this year. We had a lot more darkness than we were expecting to have. And, I associate darkness with peace and reflection and this moment where you're as far away from the light as possible. And then you just sort of gradually, quietly come back into summer, which is my favorite time of year. But I love this time of year for reflection. But I think what I learned in the last couple of days is I don't like it when the lights are out unless I have control over it. So it wasn't quite as reflective of a dark experience as I would have wanted, but we're all here and we're all okay and safe, so that's important. It is such a pleasure. You guys have a true treasure here with Aaron Hirsch. I mean, really, really, really. Yeah, exactly. And I met Aaron because I attended a memorial service here for the wife of my partner's Sunday school teacher here at St. John's. And that's when I first heard Aaron play. I said, oh my gosh, they have a real musician here. Fantastic. And my partner, Jake Schroeder, and his mother are here tonight. He was baptized in this church. And we just found a photo last week of him being held by all of the Jake Schroeders were there and, at his baptism. So it's only fitting that we're here. It's really an honor to be here. So we're going to start out with a little bit of Christmas music. It's not quite a sing-along. On the last piece, you have this very short opportunity to sing one verse of Joy to the World. So don't miss it. All right. So that was a first for me. I've never played a Christmas piece in a recital. My birthday's in 2 days. So I thought, I can do what I want. And I wanted to speak a little bit about the next piece, which is by Johann Sebastian Bach. He wrote so much incredible music and such a wide variety of music. And I think as a student, you start playing the sonatas. And I learned this Orchestral Suite No. 2 when I was 16. That was the first time I approached this piece. And at the time, I didn't have streaming services like Spotify, where you can go listen to the top traverso players in Europe interpret this amazing music. It's very different. In the States, we had the public library, and those were all James Galway recordings or Jean-Pierre Rampal recordings. So it was the most romantic interpretation of the Suite in B minor you could possibly imagine. So I've had to deprogram myself to play this with any amount of integrity because of all the research that has been done and all of the training that's gone into understanding this music. So this piece, it's not a a religious piece. This is one of the secular pieces. It's originally written for flute, like traverso with orchestra, and the orchestra and the traverso have an interplay. But Aaron had this great idea to make an organ arrangement of the orchestral part, which is a very, very bold move. And he sounds amazing on it. So that means I get to play a lot more of the first violin parts, and it is quite a lift for the flute player. So this piece is written in the unbelievable tradition of French orchestral suites or French dance suites. So the first movement is very French. He does all the dotted, stylized rhythms, and then there's all of this German-sounding counterpoint in the development of that material. And then after that, it kind of lightens up and goes into a series of court dances, which you can see at starting with the rondeau and going forward. So it ends with the biggest banger known in the Baroque era for flute, which is Bach's Badineri. And you might have remembered when you had, did anyone here have a Nokia phone? You remember those little phones? And it goes da ticka da ticka da ticka da. That ringtone? Yeah. It's enough of a banger that Nokia put it on a phone. So we hope you enjoy it.
this is the perfect time for a breather. Yeah, a lot of notes in the flute part, even more in the organ part, but at least I don't have to coordinate my breaths. So, well done, very well done. All right, this is the moment where I will invite our ushers forward with the collection. A reminder that, again, we accept cash, checks written out to St. John's with the memo line saying Music Society, or scan the QR code in your program. Or for our YouTube viewers, there is a link in the video description that will take you right to a place where you can give us your money. So thank you in advance for that. The St. John's Music Society, we're in our fourth iteration, our fourth season right now. We're in the middle of it. And we've done some great things. We've supported a great choir concert earlier in the month. And all thanks to all the generous contributions to everyone in here. But I would also like to thank our sponsors for today's concert, Stu Nagley, Amy French, and Jack Rook. If you please stand up. Thank you so much for helping bring Brooke to this place. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Yes. And after the concert, we'll all have a chance to hang out at the reception in the parish hall, and you get to meet and chat with Brooke, and we can continue to give you our thanks for your support. You can see on the back of the program our upcoming events. The list is getting shorter as the year is getting longer, although there are a few items that have yet to be published yet, and those are usually the education concerts where students from the university here in town or Greeley or Fort Collins want to give a performance outside of their music building and in this lovely acoustic space. And your support also helps enable this, and it's really wonderful. So if you want to continue to receive updates, please remember to sign up for the email list. It's on the first stand as you came in to the church. I would love to be able to reach you and let you know when all of our next events are, because there's a lot of great ones. January, we're going to have Madison Falkenstein performing a soprano and organ program. In February, we have a quartet going to perform Messiaen's Quartet for the End of Time. This is an incredibly wonderful piece and is not to be missed. None of these programs are to be missed, really, but that one should be a good one. March 15th, our current soprano choral scholar, Christina Butler, will be giving a soprano and organ concert. The organ's being used a lot this season, and that's great. And then we've got our St. John's Choir Spring Concert in May, to be determined what the repertoire is, and we'll close out the season with a recital I will perform at the end of May. I guess I locked myself into this. You'll be hearing Georgi Ligody's Volumina, a really massive cluster tone of a piece that it's a good opportunity to express internal turmoil. But then the rest of the program is more turmoil. So, but I promise there is a point and a resolution to it, especially a performance of Julius Reupke's 94th Psalm Sonata. This was a student of Liszt who died before he was 25. And this is his main contribution to the world. And it has been very important. So hope to see you at all of these. I think we've had enough of a break, and we're ready to jump into the next thing. Before I invite Jake up here to give some readings, I just want to give a little background on what you're about to hear. Daniel Pinkham's Miracles is a meditation on 5 miracles that Jesus performed during his ministry phase here on earth. And each movement is preceded by its Bible passage that will be read by Jake. And thank you so much for doing that. So this will give you a chance to hear the word and hear how Daniel Pinkham takes us along this journey. There will be some fun extended techniques in here, especially with the organ. You'll notice there in the 4th movement, I think, is the one where I stick pencils into keys. So keep an eye out for that. It's going to be a great time. All right, thank you. I hope you enjoy.
The miracle at Cana. There was a wedding at Cana in Galilee. The wine gave out. there were 6 stone water jars standing near of the kind used for Jewish rites of purification. Each held from 20 to 30 gallons. Jesus said to the servants, "Fill the jars with water," and they filled them to the brim. "Now draw some off," he ordered, "and take it to the steward of the feast," and they did so. The steward tasted the water, now turned into wine, not knowing its source, though the servants who had drawn the water knew. He hailed the bridegroom and said, "Everyone serves the best wine first and waits until the guests have drunk freely before serving the poorer sort, but you have kept the best wine till now." This deed in Cana in Galilee is the first of the miracles by which Jesus revealed his glory and led his disciples to believe in him. Number 2, the miracle on the lake. One day, Jesus got into a boat with his disciples and said to them, "Let us cross over to the other side of the lake." So they put out, and as they sailed along, he went to sleep. Then a heavy squall struck the lake. They began to ship water and were in grave danger. They went to him and roused him, crying, "Master, Master, we are sinking." He awoke and rebuked the wind and the turbulent waters. The storm subsided and all was calm. "Where is your faith?" he asked. In fear and astonishment, they said to one another, "Who can this be? He gives this orders to wind and waves, and they obey him." Number 3, the miracle at Bethesda. Jesus went up to Jerusalem for one of the Jewish festivals. Now at the sheep pool in Jerusalem, there is a place with 5 colonnades. Its name in the language of the Jews is Bethesda. In these colonnades, there lay a crowd of sick people, blind, lame, and paralyzed. Among them was a man who had been crippled for 38 years. When Jesus saw him lying there and was aware he had been ill a long time, he asked him, "Do you want to recover?" "Sir," he replied, "I have no one to put me in the pool when the water is disturbed, but while I am moving, someone else is in the pool before me." Jesus answered, "Rise to your feet, take up your bed and walk." The man recovered instantly, took up his stretcher, and began to walk. Number 4, the miracle in the country of Gerasenes. As Jesus entered into the country of the Gerasenes, a man possessed by an unclean spirit came up to him from among the tombs where he had his dwelling. He could no longer be controlled, even chains were useless. He had often been fettered and chained up, but he had snapped his chains and broken his fetters. No one was strong enough to master him, and so unceasingly, night and day, he would cry aloud among the tombs and on the hillsides and cut himself with stones. When he saw Jesus in the distance, he ran and flung himself down before him, shouting loudly, "What do you want with me, Jesus, Son of the Most High God? In God's name, do not torment me." For Jesus was already saying to him, "Out, unclean spirit, come out of this man." Jesus asked him, "What is your name?" "My name is Legion," he said. "There are so many of us." and he begged hard that Jesus would not send them out of the country. Now there happened to be a large herd of pigs feeding on the hillside, and the spirits begged him, "Send us among the pigs and let us go into them." He gave them leave, and the unclean spirits came out and went into the pigs. And the herd of about 2,000 rushed over the edge into the lake and were drowned. Number 5, the miracle at the roadside. As Jesus was leaving Jericho with his disciples and a large crowd, Bartimaeus, son of Timaeus, a blind beggar, was seated at the roadside. Jesus said to him, "What do you want me to do for you?" "Master," the blind man answered, "I want my sight back." Jesus said to him, "Go, your faith has cured you." And at once he recovered his sight and followed him on the road.
Well, now we're going to lighten things up a little bit. This last segment of pieces is our 4 short Christmas carols arranged for flute and organ by Robert J. Powell. The hymn tunes, the carols you will hear are Joy to the World, Away in a Manger, Alananita Nana, and The Darkness is Falling. That fourth one is a little bit of a newer Austrian carol, but it is a delightful way to end this concert. Again, thank you so much for being here, and let's chat at the reception in the parish hall after these 4 short pieces. Thank you. to the reception over in the parish hall. See you there.